Einstein Next Best Action is a new service from Salesforce. It delivers optimal recommendations at the point of maximum impact, which means at the right time, in the right place, to the right person. It's a framework for recommendations, and that means that you can plug in intelligence sources from a wide range of services and mix and blend them with business rules that can allow you to apply business policies and regulatory overrides to powerful AIs that are benefiting from constant training. Next Best Action also allows you to blend Salesforce data with non-Salesforce data. Critical because so many key decisions are going to involve pieces of data like credit scores that aren't inside of the Salesforce system. The story for Next Best Action starts with what we call propositions. These are potential recommendations or recommendation templates. They're designed as Salesforce records so that you don't have to be an administrator in order to modify and improve and enhance them. You define the propositions that you want to potentially offer, and some of those propositions can also be dynamically created by sources of intelligence. And then you run your strategy engine. The strategy engine filters, shapes, sorts, and examines the propositions and determines which is the best one or the best small handful. And it takes its guidance from an NBA strategy that you've created for a particular situation. After the propositions are selected, Next Best Action focuses on presenting them effectively. On the left, you see the Winter 19 version of the Next Best Action Lightning component. And on the right, you see a Next Best Action component integrated into a Community Cloud portal page. Let's take a look at one of these in a real example. So here we have another Community Cloud portal page, and in our story, we're a franchisee who owns a yogurt store, and we're having trouble with a problematic yogurt freezer. Now, Next Best Action is providing several recommendations that are useful, but what we're going to do is we're going to click on the troubleshooter. Now, when you click on a Next Best Action recommendation, a lightning flow is run. Flow allows you a wide range of follow-on actions. And in this case, it's providing a form that allows our entrepreneur to create a trouble ticket. And that trouble ticket is making a change in the Salesforce system. And let's go take a look from the perspective of Service Cloud. Over in Service Cloud, our agent Eric Ware is also using Next Best Action. And what he sees right now is a single urgent message to dispatch some refrigerant that was created as a result of the trouble ticket that was created in Community Cloud. He clicks on this and another lightning flow comes up that allows him to order refrigerant, and you can see that he can do this right from within the context of his console and take care of it very easily. Now once he's done that, if we refresh, you'll see that the next best offers change substantially. This set of recommendations features a 0% financing offer, a couple of upgrade opportunities, and a product recommendation, in this case an Apple iPod device. Let's take a look at where these are coming from. So here is the strategy that's driving those propositions. Each of the yellow boxes represents different propositions that are being loaded into the system. Here, for example, is the 0% financing option. Now you can see that there is a filter on credit score because the company doesn't want to extend 0% financing to people with poor credit. Here's where we specify the credit level that we want, but you can see that this data is not coming from Salesforce because credit score information is unlikely to be stored in Salesforce. So what we're doing is we're using an external connection, and you can see those external connections here at the top of the screen. The external connection that's producing the credit score uses a Heroku endpoint, which we use to simulate a typical enterprise system. There's also an external connection here that's reaching out to Commerce Cloud Einstein to pull in that product information. Let's see how this dynamically affects things. We're going to change the payment status of Lauren. There's a collect payment proposition here, but that's not visible because Lauren's payment status is current. We're going to go in here and I'm going to change her payment status. And you can see that the next best action immediately changed. We are now looking at a collect payment instruction that is taking precedence over all of these other offers. And that's pretty good, but let's suppose we want to tune this a little more. Perhaps we don't want to be coming up with product recommendations when the customer is already delinquent. So let me show you how easy that is to change. I've got my branch of product recommendations right here, and I've got my branch of collect payment right here. I'm going to take this and drag it over, and then I'm going to go into this gate, and I'm going to specify that I only want products shown if the case contact payment status is equal to current. And that's all it takes to specify a new set of criteria in next best action. As soon as this saves, we go back and refresh, and you can see that the product recommendation has vanished. Let's dig a little deeper into these sources of intelligence. I'm going to take you to a different org. In this demonstration, we actually are highlighting several different intelligence sources. The multi-device TMP is an insurance offer that is being recommended by an Einstein discovery predictive model. The Smart Family Premium offer is coming as a result of Salesforce Interaction Studio. And the GDPR policy acknowledgement is being driven by a rule that is required as a result of government regulation. Let's dig into that Einstein discovery one a little deeper. We've actually put the Einstein discovery rationale right here in the account where we can take a look at it. Right now, this customer has a 98% likelihood to buy insurance, and that's driven by a combination of phone drops and add-ons and cases bought. So we can actually change this value. If we reduce the number of times the phone was dropped from 40 to 30, you can see, and I have to refresh this. You can see that the propensity to buy insurance is still high, but not as high as it was. So we're going to keep offering this package. But notice what happens when I indicate that the user's existing device is currently damaged. You can see that the offer disappeared instantly, and that's because this company doesn't want to be selling insurance to someone who's already got a damaged phone. So this is a very good example of where the AI is very smart, is making good recommendations, but it needs to be overridden by a business policy. And next best action makes it easy to combine those. I mentioned that this Smart Family Premium comes from Interaction Studio. Let's take a closer look at that. And to do that, I'm going to go to a more advanced version of a strategy. Now, Interaction Studio is accessed via this external connection right here. It's a product that specializes in tracking consumer behavior. So let's focus in on the kind of recommendations Interaction Studio might provide. To do that, I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to take the Interaction Insights branch and move it to the top. And I'm then going to click my only first match checkbox on to make sure that I'm only seeing the recommendations from Interaction Studio. The final thing I have to do before we see this, however, is I have to change the name of the strategy that this page is actually looking at. And that's easy to do because you can manipulate your next best action component by simply going into App Builder and specifying the strategy you want to run. So I'll change this to Jasmine Advanced, and you can see that instantly, before we're even able to get out of App Builder, we have a new recommendation. Now this recommendation highlights the power of Interaction Studio. This is a new customer that has examined a product closely but has not yet added it to a cart yet. Interaction Studio actually tracks individual web page visits by customers, even if you don't know who they are. Ask the customer if they are having issues with the checkout process. So a deep analysis is carried out, and the result is turned into a useful, actionable recommendation that is provided to the agent right when they need it. We can likewise take another look at our product offerings. In this case, I'm going to reorder my branches and take my product offerings and put them on top. And here are my 3 products. These are just a few of the sources of intelligence that are being hooked up into Einstein Next Best Action. This diagram shows a couple of IBM solutions that we're working on building in cooperation with our partner IBM. It also shows a couple of ISVs that are working on servicing their insights, and it also shows a couple of ISVs that are working on surfacing their insights through Next Best Action. Encino, for example, is a financial vertical, and they already have a model that carries out analysis of different kinds of loans and makes the best loan recommendation available through Next Best Action. A final point that I'll make is that Next Best Action also excels at capturing and logging the clicks that people make when they accept and reject offers. This information will later be usable to train predictive models and make them more intelligent. Next Best Action's in pilot right now and is targeted for general availability next February for the Spring 19 release of Salesforce. And it's been formally announced, so you can go and see the press release where Next Best Action has been unveiled as part of Service Cloud Einstein. We still have room for some pilot customers, so we encourage customers that are interested in exploring the possibilities of Next Best Action and influencing the prioritization of our feature roadmap to give it a try and get involved. Thanks for giving us a chance to show you Einstein Next Best Action.